Good morning. Happy Sunday. Sunday, what? September 13th. Holy smokes. Tell you what, it really is true. The days are long and the years are short. I am Shanna Pizer from Fulfilled Life Coaching, and I have challenged myself to go live for 30 days on Instagram. And today is day 24. Well, it's my 24th live. There have been some days missed, but this is the 24th time that I have gone live on Instagram for my challenge. And if you're watching this now, I'm saving all of my lives in my IGTV under the playlist, I guess, of 30 Days Live. And I basically come on and talk about random stuff, whatever pops into my head. And really it's a challenge for me to, I don't even know what. I thought of it one day and decided to do it. So here I am, day 24. I am a full-time high school counselor. I am a life and weight loss coach. I am a mom and a wife and a daughter and a sister. And I love Jesus. I'm a friend. There you go. What all are you? What are all your roles in your life that you manage? I am on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Coach Shanna P. My website is shannapizer.com. I would love to hear from you. And what are you working on? What do you struggle with? What would you like help with? I would love to hear all that kind of stuff. So yesterday, first of all, oh my gosh, I got hooked on the show Get Organized on Netflix, and I watched all the episodes that they have on there right now. And I would love to have gone to the Container Store and bought all of the home edit products, but number one, there's the closest Container Store to us is in Bellevue, and I hate going to Bellevue because I hate traffic. But also it's pretty pricey, but it's awesome looking. Like, I would love to have it. But alas, that is not going to happen right now. And so my husband and I went to Walmart, TJ Maxx, Michael's, and Target and bought a lot of organization stuff. And so I spent most of the day yesterday, took everything out of my pantry cabinets. We don't have like a pantry, which is really lame, but I took everything out of the cupboards, all the food, like pantry stuff out of the cupboards. And like, we have some shelving units and a cabinet, and I got all of that stuff out and went through everything. And I had baked beans in my cupboard that expired in the year of our Lord 2016. There wasn't a ton of expired stuff, but there was some. So the oldest was 2016, and then there was stuff that expired in 17, 18, 19, and 20. Not a ton, but some, here and there. So that's what I worked on yesterday, getting my kitchen organized. It's a mess down there, like a mess right now. And it's just all the little, like, what do I even do with this crap kind of stuff. So that is my to-do for the day, is getting that all done and taking the after pictures, because I did, of course, before pictures. Not the inside of my cabinets. Dang it. I should have done that. Anyway, my favorite thing that we purchased yesterday that I'm so excited about is this little, it's like a below the shelf hanging thing. So it creates, like if you have a shelf that has a lot of empty space, like, you know, stuff is sitting on the shelf and then the next shelf up, like there's empty space between there. It's this thing that you slide in that creates another little shelf. And it's so great. I'm super excited about that. So that's totally random, but I like little things like getting your kitchen organized feels so good. I love it. I was exhausted last night. However, I went to bed well, I did wait until it turned 8 o'clock. So I did go to bed after 8 o'clock. So anyway, yesterday I was listening to something. I don't remember what it was. A coaching call, I think. And the person that was talking about like uncertainty and like as she was talking about she mentioned that one of her favorite feelings to feel is anticipation. And I don't know about you. I would love to hear what your favorite feeling to feel is. One of my favorite feelings to feel is accomplished. That's one of my favorite feelings. And I like to feel determined. Like those are my favorites. So anyway, she was talking about anticipation, and it made me start thinking about like how anticipation is like kind of not knowing exactly what's going to happen, but excited to find out what's going to happen. And generally when you feel anticipation, you expect that it's going to be something positive and good and exciting or fun. And like, just, I was thinking, and so that brought me to like anxiety and how anticipation and anxiety are like cousins. They are so closely related. And when you feel anxiety, your body, the sensations in your body, the chemicals in your body, the physiological response of your body is the same when you're feeling anxious and when you're feeling excited. So when you're in anxiety or anticipation, your body is having the same exact reaction. You might have an elevated heart rate. Your pupils might dilate. Your palms might get sweaty. You might have like tingly feelings. You might have some restless energy. So your body is physically doing the same thing when you're feeling anxious and when you're feeling anticipation. The only difference between saying I'm anxious as opposed to I'm anticipating is what you're thinking. And when you are feeling anxious about something, you're expecting negative things. Like you're going into an unknown, or you're thinking about an unknown situation, and you're having the expectation that the results are not going to be positive. And so that creates like an anticipation is like a fear, anxiety is like a fear response. Sometimes Sometimes, because some anxiety is good, and it's like it spurs you to action. And if I'm anxious about a test, that's going to spur me to study. But if anxiety is keeping you from doing things, you if you describe yourself as an anxious person, or I have anxiety, I challenge you to consider the possibility that the way that you are thinking about the thing that you're anxious about is creating even more anxiety. And what if you reframe how you're thinking about that thing and describe that feeling as anticipation or excitement rather than anxiety or anxiousness? And how would that feel different? How would you show up different? How could you experience things in a different way? For instance, let's see, what's an example? So here's like a super basic example. Airplanes, flying on airplanes. I love to fly. I get so excited anytime I go to the airport, even if I'm picking somebody up or dropping somebody off. I love the airport. My thoughts about the airport and airplanes and flying are things like, oh my gosh, there are so many places. Like this airplane could take you anywhere, and there are so many adventures out there to be had, and this airplane can take you there. And it's so exciting to see new places and go places and visit friends and go back to places that you love, or go back home, like an airplane takes you back home. And being able to look out and see all of the beauty, and like I get excited. I feel anticipation. I get excited, like I said, even if I'm just dropping someone off or picking someone up. And if I'm sitting in my backyard, honestly, and I see an airplane go overhead, even a small one, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love airplanes. That's so exciting to me. But some people have gripping anxiety and fear about airplanes. So when they're driving into the airport, whether they're getting on a plane or not, they might feel anxious and fearful, and they might say, oh my gosh, that causes so much anxiety. And if they're going on a flight, like they may need medication to help calm their anxiety. Because what are the thoughts that those people are having about getting on an airplane or flying an airplane? Oh my gosh, this is a death trap. I could die. I'm gonna crash and burn. What if the pilot didn't get enough sleep? I have no control. Like whatever it is, like it's the thoughts that are creating that negative, anxious, fearful feeling. So when I'm excited and anticipating and thinking all of the wonderful thoughts about the airplane, I'm having the same exact sensations, physical sensations in my body as the person having all of the negative thoughts and the anxiety and fear. We're having the same exact physical response in our bodies. The only difference is I am thinking in a different way than the person that has the fear of flying is thinking. So what if we could change our thoughts, reframe how we think about something to change that anxious feeling into anticipation? And it's a practice. I get that, like, there are different levels of anxiety. There are all kinds of caveats and levels, and like on the scale, there's all kinds of, variations. But consider the possibility that even if you're somebody that struggles with anxiety and considers yourself an anxious person, what if you considered the possibility that you could even lower your anxiety level some, just make it a little bit more bearable? Or what if you could change it altogether? Like, what could that mean for you? And again, it takes practice. Anything that you haven't done in the past is going to be hard at the beginning. You're not going to be good at it. You're going to suck at it, and that's okay. Sports, basketball, baseball, dance, art, anything that you want to do, public speaking, you're going to suck at first, and that's okay. But you practice catching the, oh my gosh, this plane's going to crash and I'm going to die. The pilot, how much experience does the pilot have? Like all of those things. What if when you catch yourself thinking those things, you try to think something different? Okay, I'm getting on this plane because I'm going to see my friend on the other end, and we are going to have such a fun time, and we are going to do fun things, and that changes the emotions you're experiencing. It keeps the same physical response. It might lower it a little bit, but it changes the emotions from fear and anxiety to excitement and anticipation. And again, it takes practice. It takes practice catching yourself having those negative thoughts, and then it takes practice changing the thoughts and thinking like, what could I think instead that could be more helpful to me? So that's my challenge for today. And I would love to hear what you think of this. If you think this is like, there is no way, you are crazy, you're totally wrong, and I'm just going to keep my anxiety the way it is. Or like, wow, I never knew that. Like, maybe, like, I'm open to considering the possibility that I don't have to feel this anxiety all the time. That maybe I could practice and maybe it could help. Even if it's just a little bit, wouldn't that be amazing? So I would love to hear what you think. If you think I'm absolutely out of my mind, or if you're open to considering the possibility that you could practice catching those thoughts and changing them and seeing, like, try it. See if it helps. Can it hurt? I don't think so. It could only be a positive experience. So I would love to hear about that. If you practice changing those thoughts and if it works at all, even if just a little bit, I would love to hear from you. And yeah, I am going to do about an hour of work and then go downstairs and start finishing my kitchen organization job. So I'm sure I'll be posting pictures of that. If you follow me, you can look at my stories later. They'll be there. If you have any questions, anything that you would like to hear me talk about, please, please, please send me a message. I would love to hear from you. Love to hear what you think about this topic of anxiety and anticipation being close cousins. And so, yeah, I would love to hear from you. This video will be saved in my IGTV. If you go to my profile and then click on the little IGTV button, like right in the middle above the pictures, All of my 30-day challenge videos are there, and I would love to hear from you. Have an amazing Sunday.